Ladies and gentlemen, children of the interweb, Sebastian Envy, Strong Style, Nerd, Strong Style, Cinephile, and of course, reigning, defending MPX Prospect Champion, and one half of the CWF Tag Team Champions. But we're not here for that. It's Titans Friday, so let us geek about the new episode, as well as last week's, and talk about a small nugget of a problem that might be happening for the show. Okay, first off, let's talk episode 3. And we see the old Titans team arrival at the tower as they ponder how to handle Dr. Light. They're also doing their best to keep the new kids out of the room and in the dark about the past, something that Donna chastises Dick for doing. Dick also informs the veterans that they have Rose Wilson in the tower, something that does not sit well with any of the others. Nonetheless, they make a move on tracking Dr. Light. Rose, meanwhile, bonds with Rachel over their crappy fathers. Dr. Light has a powwow planning session with Deathstroke, who shows that he plans to be several steps ahead of the Titans and plans to make them suffer, something that Dr. Light wants to do as well. Now, Corey wakes up and we find out that someone from her home planet has come to take her back so she can sit atop the throne, as is her destiny. Quite a bit different from season 1, Corey, huh? But we'll get to that in a bit. Now, the guy who comes to bring her home is a member of the Royal Guard, someone who Corey had a one-night stand with, a night that clearly left more of an impression on him than it did her. He warns her that after him, others will come who won't be as nice as he's trying to be. Now, the team gets their butts handed to them in their first encounter with Dr. Light. After that, Jason schemes with the guard to track the villain down. Jason's already mad about getting left out of the loop when it comes to Light and any plans to handle him, and he and Gar get a lead and they go check it out. They split up and Jason manages to find Dr. Light first. The wee Robin actually puts a considerable butt kicking on the villain, but we find out it might as well have been a setup because Deathstroke arrives and snatches Jason. And then boom, episode done. Now the next episode, titled Aqualad, was pretty well a flashback. We see Deathstroke offing people left and right that have to do with a high-profile trial, and then we see him get his next assignment, which he says will be easy. Deathstroke also stalks his ex-wife, and we're introduced to his son, Jericho. Meanwhile, after laying the smackdown on some would-be muggers, the Titans throw a little shindig for Garth, Aqualad. Through these tower scenes, we find out a few things. Number 1, Garth has a thing for Donna Troy. Number 2, Donna and Dick are an actual thing. Now, apparently, Hank and Dawn just didn't work out at the time, and Dick and Dawn formally hooked up. I will admit, it seemed in season 1 that Dick and Dawn just kind of messed around behind Hank's back. Apparently, this was not the case. This was a genuine relationship. Now, Donna is hesitant to pursue the path that Garth wants and up their relationship from, friends to more than that. She's apparently destiny-bound to return to Themyscira, so she's all angsty about that. And while all this angst is going on, the team manages to track down and defeat Dr. Light in their first encounter with the villain. Now, eventually, Donna and Garth do the do, but Donna leaves in the morning, intent to return home to Themyscira. Garth tries to stop her, and we find out Deathstroke's newest target was Garth. The assassin guns down the Titan, leaving Donna wrecked and wanting revenge, as well as the other Titans. Dick learns Deathstroke's identity, and the team plots to hunt him down and make him pay. I see Jericho again, and we see him meet Dick, who's clearly going to use the boy to track down his father. Boom, episode done. Now, did Aqualad just get fridged? Now stick with me here. Now, fridging is when a character is killed off in a particularly gruesome manner and left to be found just to offend or insult someone or to cause someone serious anguish. The usual victims are those who matter to the hero, specifically best buddies, love interests, and sidekicks. Now, the name of the trope comes from a storyline in Green Lantern in which the villain Major Force leaves the corpse of Kylo Rayner's girlfriend, Alexandra DeWitt, literally stuffed in a refrigerator for him to find. Years later, Major Force repeated the gimmick with Kyle's mother in an oven, though at the time it was just a trick with a mannequin. Now, the term, sometimes formed as fridging, was popularized by comic book writer Gail Simone through her website, Women in Refrigerators. On that site, Simone compiled a list of instances of female comic book characters who were killed off as a plot device. Now, the term came to be used more broadly over time to refer to any character who is targeted by an antagonist who has them killed off, abused, raped, incapacitated, depowered, or brainwashed for the sole purpose of affecting another character, motivating them to take action. Aqualad eats a bullet. Donna is wrecked and motivated for revenge. We get an entire episode of Aqualad and Donna angst, only for him to get killed right after they throw down in the sheets. Fridge-like, if you ask me, I know he wasn't literally stuffed in a fridge, but just some elements of it kind of lead to fridging. And that leads me to some concerns I have creeping up. Now, I'm wondering if Titans is falling into some of the same CW plot issues we often find ourselves railing against on various message boards. Now, in their first encounter with Dr. Light, the team goes after him in their civvies, like it's Casual Friday for the Titans. Now, I would think they would have their costumes because they afford some level of protection, at least more than shirts and slacks provide. Not to mention protecting their identities against witnesses, but no, they just effing just went out. They had Dr. Light down, but the arrival of a bus distracts them and he gets away. The bus did not look to be in any super high amount of danger, maybe I have to look again, but it allowed Dr. Light to get away for them to stretch things out. Now, how many times did we see this in The Flash last season, where we would have Cicada down or Cicada 2, and the dagger away from the villain, and they stop and talk, make funnies, or have some kind of emo moment, and the villain manages to get away. Plot-induced stupidity just to pad things out. Happened with the Thinker as well. That has me concerned. And we spent the majority of this flashback episode on the angsty will they, won't they stuff between Donna and Garth. That's textbook CW plotting. And again, like I said, all that for him to just eat a bullet. Concerned. Also, it didn't occur to me outright, I will admit, but after reading a Screen Rant write-up on retconning in Titans, I'm like, So Corey's season 1 purpose was to hunt down Rachel. But we find out now she came to Earth to run away from royal responsibility, a clear retcon from season 1. Now I suppose they could spin it where maybe capturing Rachel or killing her was some kind of trial or royal trial or task or something like that. But it doesn't seem like at this point that's where they're going. Now there's no real mention of Titans in season 1. The heroes kind of knew each other and worked together in the past, but clearly in season 2, Titans were a thing, and a thing for a while. Now, Gar has apparently become adept in swordplay and computer work. We've not seen him do anything beastly since the first episode, so I'm wondering if the budget crunch will keep him from using his powers anything more than sparingly. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll give this episode a solid 7.5 out of 10, mostly for Hawk and Dove action. I love Hawk and Dove. But I'm the slightest bit concerned that we'll be watching things going forth. So like I said, it was a good episode, but just those little nuggets of concern forming in my mind about the retconning that they're doing, and maybe it'll be for the good of the series going forth. We'll find out as the episodes play out. And just the CW-esque storytelling, plotting aspect of it, where they just do dumb stuff just to pad out the episodes. I know there's like there's just 13 episodes. If we start having to pad stuff and just fluff things out, I mean, it goes to the Netflix Marvel shows and just the problems that they had with 13 episodes and just having to stretch stuff out just to fill that. I know 13 is kind of like the streaming TV show magic number. I mean, I find myself when I'm writing scripts for stuff, I just have it locked into my head, like my stop motion series. Basically, my Transformers one and my Marvel DC action figure one I'm developing now, and even some of the television stuff that I wrote, like Cheerleader Karate School, when I was writing that as a live action project when I did Party Girl. Both seasons of that were 13 episodes. 13 just became like the magic number. But sometimes you just don't have enough story for 13, and that's okay. Just write to what you have. Write to fix the story to the episode count that you have. If you don't have a bunch of episodes, if you don't have 13 episodes worth of episode, don't do it. Make it shorter. Don't be afraid to make things short. But it's just the obligations from the networks or streaming services and that sort of thing that they've just got locked into 13, lucky 13. That's just what we're going on. So who knows, maybe it'll negatively or positively impact the show from a storytelling standpoint. We'll see once we have all 13 episodes and we can really take everything as a whole and then look back and kind of pick it apart. Then now we're just taking it piecemeal so we don't have the whole picture, and maybe things will change once we see everything. I don't know. But anyway, those are some of my thoughts on it. More importantly, what do you guys out there think? Did Aqualad get fridged? What do you think about the flashback? What do you think about Titans so far? Let me know in the comments below. Follow me on social media. Talk to me on Twitter, Instagram. Talk to me here on this channel this weekend, Friday. Tomorrow, as a matter of fact. It's me, Xavier Daniels, throwing down for this right here, MPX Prospect Championship. My first defense of 4 on my road to the MPX Championship. If you're in Bedford, in the DFW area tomorrow, need to come out to the show, check it out. Meantime, let us geek.